everyone, it's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. If I look a little bit strange this morning, I've just had a huge sneezing fit. I'm very much in the throes of hay fever at the moment. But I'm all good, so don't worry about me. All right. Firstly, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. And for all the people who've come over here from TikTok, thank you so much for following me. If you're interested in personal readings with me, life coaching with me, if you even want to find out about life coaching, I do have a channel on that. I haven't really put a lot of effort into it lately. It's been quite bizarre, really, time-wise. I seem to fit everything in better when I was working full-time for some stupid reason. But anyway, it just goes to show how organised I am and how disorganised I am now. If you would want to know anything about me, look, you can whip over to the Aussie Goddess Facebook page. Everything's pinned to the top of the page. I do intend updating that this week, and I will get there and put some lives on for you. Missed YouTube live yesterday because I had an appointment. However, I'm going to do a YouTube live tomorrow at the same time. So if you missed me yesterday, I will be around tomorrow. That's Friday, Australian Eastern Day. No, it's Australian Eastern Standard Time at 12 p.m. The other thing I want to announce for all the people in the local area, and I know I do have a huge following in the local area, I've now decided, well, it was really nice actually because somebody offered me, a beautiful woman offered me a place in her cafe. So I'm going to be doing readings in Port Kembla. I'll put all the details on my page and I will be there every Thursday, excepting those 2 weeks that I'll be on holidays at this stage. But I know a lot of people like to have face-to-face readings and it's been so hard with COVID, but it's all getting back to normal hopefully now. And yeah, so we'll have 1 day a week, Thursdays, out of Port Kembla. So you can get in touch with me if you want to book a reading. I have yet to work out a booking system, but I will get there. So I'm really excited about doing something different. All right, let's get into this reading. We're going to use the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. One of the beautiful subscribers yesterday said to me she'd actually bought this deck some time ago and how much she loved the artistry on it. She actually wrote to me via TikTok. So I'm really thrilled with the way everything's working out. So, all right, let's get into this. Enough frivolity. Very nice. So we start off the day with the Justice card. This is the card of Libra. The Justice card is a card that talks about everything being in balance in terms of the way the universe is operating. It can talk about legal justice too. So sometimes, and for anybody going through any sort of court process at the moment, it very often means that there will be something found in your favour. It talks about karmic justice in that sometimes people don't leave things the way they need to. I always think of the whole idea of bringing closure to something. Even though closure is a human concept and we like to have closure, it sort of helps us move on most of the time. Sometimes closure doesn't help to move on either. But when the Justice card comes out for me, it very often talks about things left unfinished, things left unsaid, things that were supposed to be expressed, not expressed. And when those things happen, very often they sort of pull you back in your own life and you might get into that energy of overthinking it, stressing out about it because you haven't done what you needed to do. So it's in our own best interest to finish things off, be honest and get it off our chests. But very often we don't do that due to fear or whatever else. And then it eats away at us, which is not a healthy way to be. When I see this card coming out, I feel like it's very similar to the Judgment card where you're being called to answer for something that you have left undone, left unsaid, something in the past that has been. I always think this is a really good one for people who've ghosted people. There is a real energy of something needing to be put right in the universe now so that people can move on their merry way and leave it behind. All right, and here it comes, Knight of Pentacles coming in. So somebody here is coming in to put something right that they've done in the past. Now, this doesn't always have to be romantic. It could be somebody who's done something. It could be that somebody owed you money. Somebody's done the wrong thing at work. Because the Pentacles sort of talk about those things, so I don't want to dismiss that. But I also feel whatever this is that's been coming, you've been left hanging, waiting for something to close for some time. This is really has this feeling this morning that some sort of business is about to be delivered that wasn't delivered before. Some sort of energy of something being put right in the universe. All right, Two of Wands. Well, it would make sense that if you get closure to something or you're able to close something out, move away from something, it may have been something as simple as you've got put off at work and nobody's really given you a decent reason as to why that's happened. It could be that, somebody stopped talking to you all of a sudden and you're doing that whole, what did I do wrong? Did I do something to upset them? That type of energy that's sitting out there that hasn't been put right. That is unfinished business. That's what it's all about. So it would make sense to see the Two of Wands here, because what that would say to me is that somehow or another having this closure, having this energy of finishing something up will help you to move in a different direction. I always think that when we don't get closure, we feel sort of cheesed off and upset about it, but I'm pretty sure that the person who's done that probably feels a little bit weird about it too. So something is setting you in a different direction here. Now, you could be dealing with someone who's a Leo, Sag, or Aries, but again, I get such a feeling here that for some of you, this may be about a job or a work situation where you haven't actually understood fully what happened. I mean, sometimes people just give you the weirdest excuses and you're like, just be honest with me. Just be frank. Say it. If you're not happy with something, be honest. At least I know I can fix it. But if I'm going away with this idea that somehow or another I did the wrong thing and you're not telling me what that was, then I guess a lot of people are scared to do that, or maybe they're too weak. Maybe we can see them as weak, weak links in the chain. But there's nothing worse than stewing on something that hasn't been finalized. All right, so we have the Three of Swords. No, for some people this is really tough. Three of Cups coming through here. Actually, 2, 3 sitting here with the Hermit card. Wow, okay. So I'm talking to some people here who have very fresh wounds. This is fresh wound here. This is either a fresh wound or it's somebody still feeling pain after a period of time. This is very, very open for me here. Very open energy. And I feel like here, I just feel like sometimes people make excuses to move away from things because they just don't want to be honest with you. So instead of saying, this isn't what I want, they might say something like, I just don't have the time at the moment, or, this is just not right for me at this time. I'm busy, I'm working, whatever. And you know full well that there's a far deeper reason. I mean, just lay it on the line, because what I see here is somebody who's still in pain here. I do have the Three of Cups here. Now, the Three of Cups, it can talk about reunion. It can talk about people coming together to celebrate. For me, it's very often that energy of somebody being in another situation, either not being honest with you or hurting you because they've perhaps chosen to go in a different direction. What I see, though, is that you're still carrying this somewhat. So it's being difficult for you to let go because we have the Hermit coming through here. This could be a Virgo as well that's dealing with a third-party situation. But something here is not right. I don't feel that this person has perhaps given you the real reasons for why they walked away. I feel like whoever this person is we're talking about here is going to be called to answer to this, but I feel like they are going to hear the call here with the page, with the Knight of Oh, for goodness sakes, the Knight of Pentacles. I know you're all out there going, Knight of Pentacles, Yvonne. Whatever this situation is, whatever you're hurting from, the person who's created this energy for you is about to come back, apologize, put something right, whatever. All right, so we have the Page of Wands coming through. So you're about to get some sort of message here. The Page of Wands is a message of passion. I'm not so sure if your person is going to be passionate, but I feel that underlying that is a need for them to put something right. So they're feeling very determined. This isn't a card of action. It's not a card of rushing in. It's a card of a tentative thing. So you may have somebody coming forward, possibly again Leo, Sag or Aries, or somebody with those placements, ready to give some sort of apology here. Or maybe not an apology, maybe more of an explanation perhaps. All right, let's whip through it. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords. Wow, you're at the ready too. You are at the ready, but you do look like you're taking some sort of leap of faith here. But with the Page of Swords here, there may be a list of expectations or some ground rules, I want to say, with that Page of Swords. The Queen of Swords says very, very much to me that you are absolutely 100% ready to communicate. You do want to communicate about whatever this issue or problem was, absolutely. But what I feel more here is that you are also ready to cut this out. Maybe you've done without it for some time anyway, so it's sort of no skin off your back. So it's very much this energy of making a clear, concise decision to go one way or the other. So you'll either accept the communication and be ready to take some sort of leap of faith into the next stage, or you will be, as I said, setting some sort of ground rules here with this Page of Swords. But you are ready to perhaps cut things out if they don't go in the way you need them to. And I don't mean ground rules with, you may be dealing with somebody like a family member who's, you know, used to you running around doing everything for them. They may have done something and like got angry with you for saying no, whatever. So this may be you saying, well, in future, I'll do it under these conditions, but you do this to me again and that's it for me. I don't want to work with you anymore. So those are the sort of things that have come through with that energy. All right, so we have the World card coming through. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that card. So there's some sort of cycle that is going to close out as a result of this, but it does leave, wow. Okay, so with the Ace of Pentacles here, I want to say that it does sort of absolve or get rid of some sort of feeling of disappointment here, which is good if you're the person receiving this information. There's very much this energy of being able to accept and move on for whatever reason. You know, it's very possible that you've already sort of forgiven this situation, forgiven this person. You could have already been all through that, but somehow or another there's this real nice feeling of release here. And it will close out some sort of cycle for you and give you a new start. For some of you, it may be a new start where you do launch with this person for whatever reason, but I think for others of you, there will be a severing of this relationship and a sad severing. All right, so we have the Death card coming through. Okay, with the Magician. Oh, we're all happening here, aren't we? Eight of Wands, right. I feel like it's almost like you're ready for this anyway. So I feel that you knew it was coming. Some of you are very highly instinctive and you've really tuned into the energy of this was unfinished business and about to come back around. And I do feel perhaps for some of you, you've actually manifested this back in, perhaps because you are finding it difficult to move on. But for others of you, I feel like it's going to take you through some sort of transformation. There's a lot of transformative energy here, and maybe that's why you're moving in a different direction. It's very healing, I want to say. There's a real healing here. So let me just have a look through it again. I feel like somebody is coming in to put something right here. For whatever reason, they may have taken their time, but for some of you, this may be about somebody loaning money, some sort of job situation here. Whatever's happening here, there is a big healing because you are moving in a different direction. I do feel that you're dealing with someone here. This person is coming up as a King of Wands. So it could be that they are very stable in their lives now. Maybe they've given some thought to this. They're coming up sort of as a leader. So maybe this person's gone through some sort of process or healing themselves to get to this energy. I feel like someone's still carrying the pain of this. You could both be, your person could be, you could be, but this is raw pain here. It's not an old energy. This feels like it's fairly recent, or you've been carrying it with you for a long time. For some of you, this person may have left you behind in the past to follow some other follow some other person, energy, situation, but there's something about this person maybe choosing someone over you. But I feel really conscious here that it could even be that you got into some sort of argument with a family member and they chose to back someone else rather than you when you knew you were in the right. Sort of that energy coming through here. I do feel that you've gone through a lot of healing here. But again, this energy of you knowing that sooner or later this would be put right here. Very much this energy of understanding there was unfinished business and knowing that it would resolve at some stage or another. Maybe somebody did it because they were feeling very immature at the time and not able to face up to something. But I feel like that person now coming up as the King of Wands possibly has worked through some of their own issues and feels more confident or more comfortable stepping forward. There is communication coming through. I do think you'll get communication possibly in the next 8 days to 8 weeks. The Magician here tells me that this person wants to put this right too. They've been trying to understand and manifest something here, but you could have been manifesting someone back in as well. The Magician says to me that you could have moved on without this, so you may have for a certain amount moved on, but still carry this sort of raw pain with you. So whatever it is, it lingers in your heart, and does need healing. And the universe knows it needs healing. That's why they're going ahead doing this. I do feel that there's a great healing or transformation that's going to come out of this energy here. Could be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But there's a huge healing here with this Death card. And I wanted to just have a look at that. 9 of Wands, rightio. Oh, okay. 9 of Cups. All right, this is really nice. I just pulled them at random from the deck too. I feel like out of this, there's been some sort of, you may have been cycling with this person, very possible. I feel like you've carried the hurt with you a long time. This cycle needs to be closed out. This is what this is all about. Something has to be put right, finished. This is the justice in entirety. It really needs to be done with here. I feel like perhaps you haven't been able to move on, because when I see the 9 of Cups, it's sort of this energy that perhaps you haven't really, you may have moved on in a lot of aspects of your life, but there's this energy of release with the 9 of Cups, like that feeling of finally something has, shifted now. I can move on with my life and bring in what I want here. There's very much that sort of energy coming through on that Death card. All right, we'll pull a card from the Quantum deck here. Oh, and there it is, victim mentality. Okay, that's a really good consciousness. Oh, wow. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, I hold the card up because the pictures are they're really very symbolic, I want to say. If you have a look at this, you see the rope tied around his hands. So some of you may have felt that you couldn't move forward without this sort of, I want to say, resolution. What I see here with the picture is an outpouring of emotions. So this may be why it's coming across as a very strong healing energy. I do see the books on the floor. So I feel like you may have been trying to understand, perhaps trying to work through the energy yourself. You may have been trying to understand the healing you needed to go through. When I see the victim mentality, I feel like a lot of us don't understand victim mentality in a way that's in depth. Like, we think that victim mentality is a very sort of straightforward thing, but actually it's a very deep energy that some people carry. Some of us carry throughout our lives at some stage or another. This can come right back from childhood, and maybe sometimes you don't understand it. But it's much deeper than we think it is. A man is hunched in a corner with a rope tied around one wrist. The other end of the rope is tied to the bedpost. Next to him is a pitcher of waterfall with the water flowing out of the pitcher splashing around him. Though the water represents his spirit trying to lift him up, the man feels hopeless, resigned to his situation, even though he has the freedom to untie the rope and leave. You may have a victim consciousness. This really feels like Eight of Swords energy here. You may have a victim consciousness about a situation you're in or about your life in general. Although you are feeling powerless, unable to direct your destiny, you are like the man in the card. You have the power to unite, or to untie yourself, stand up, take action, and move on. There's something so disabling in the victim mentality. It can create a paralysis of will and energy that keeps you absolutely stuck. Your attitude may come from the situation or from a power-hungry person trying to control your life. Your mindset may also be sourced in a story from your past where your power was stripped away. Either way, you must untie yourself from this negative pattern, open yourself to the strength of your spirit, and reclaim your right to direct your own life. Even if you've had this powerless view for a long time, it's time to stand up for yourself now. So this is really interesting, and that's what you do when you don't allow things to come to a closure. If you don't accept that something has to be closed, then what you're doing is you're giving power to the other person. So always remember that that is a victim mentality. I'll leave you with that. Have a wonderful day.